Welcome to the Daily Influence, where our mission is to deliver a daily dose of positive influence that can uplift you personally or be shared within your sphere of influence. While not every episode may directly apply to your unique circumstances, we strive to provide insights and inspiration relevant to most people's daily, weekly, and monthly lives. Whether you are tuning in during the morning, noon, or night, the Daily Influence is here for you. Listen, share, and embrace the power of influence in your life.
Hello, and welcome to another edition of the Daily Influence. I'm Gregg-Brooke Koleno with the Daily Influence and IA Business Advisors. I'm so glad you're here to join us today with my conversation with Brandon Cork of Pulse Technology. He's also a board member of the Boys and Girls Club of Elgin and a board member on NHSPN, which is the National Hispanic Suicide Prevention Network. Brandon, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Greg, for having me on. I appreciate it.
Brandon, do you want to share a little bit about yourself with our audience before we jump into the conversation?
I appreciate it. Thank you. You did a great job, too, being a board member times two. But just a little bit about me. I'm a father, I'm a son, and I'm a community leader and involved very much, especially with the people around me as well. That'll be the other key things to bring up other than what you said, but I appreciate that.
So, Brandon, what inspired you to start spreading positivity and making a difference in the lives of others?
That's a great question. A lot of who I am today comes from my family before me, specifically my grandfather, having family roots. My grandfather had 7 kids of his own, and he always told me, Greg, that, it's 3 things that's most important. He said, his spirituality, he said work, and also making sure your family is good. So every day, doing something positive. He served in the Korean War some years ago, and he always used to make sure something was done as soon as he got up. Something positive, whether it's making his bed, doing something nice. And a lot of my upbringing comes from that and seeing that a lot of times as well. So much of my roots and background with community involvement from the people around me and things that I've seen, and also things that I wanted to share with other people as well.
He instilled a lot of positivity in you. And all of those 3 things, spirituality, work, and family, I see that in you every day. So he would be really proud of you.
Thank you.
We have a saying here at IA that we talk about our influence, and we begin influencing people before we're even born. When our parents find out they're pregnant with us, we have an influence on them. But we hopefully leave a positive influence after we're gone from this earth. And so I can certainly tell your grandfather has left a very positive influence on you. Can you tell us about a specific moment or experience when you felt you made a significant positive impact in someone's life?
There's definitely been a few moments in my life. I'm thinking back to my early 20s. I know I did a lot of community work even from when I was younger, and I used to go door to door, even coming from a very religious family. In my 20s, doing some volunteer work for the Sojourner House, and also volunteering for after-school programs that dealt with families in Gary, Indiana, from unfortunately drug abuse families, families that struggle with alcoholism. And that was definitely not only tough, but also taught me community. It taught me patience. It also taught me having that giving spirit, seeing kids that were coming through the programs that need tutoring, needed help, guidance. And also, so having that giving spirit was definitely important during that time. And that was a moment I especially felt, especially with the kids in their face when they saw someone like me that looked like them, helping them to accomplish their goals and hopefully their dreams as well. That felt good for me. We definitely talk about there's more happiness in giving than it is receiving. And I felt that for sure at that point.
Thank you for sharing that story with us. I'm sure you've had a lasting positive influence on those kids that you crossed paths with during that time. What advice would you give to someone who wants to make a difference, but maybe not know where to start or how to start?
That is a great question. I actually have been asked this a few times, especially when it's dealing with time managers. How do you do all those things? What I would tell someone that to give advice to them is to find something that they're passionate about. There's a lot of great organizations out there. I know you're involved with a lot of great organizations, me as well. Find something that you definitely, one, see yourself doing, have experience, or want to change. There's a big difference too, I use between work and passion, right? Work is the things we get paid for. Work is what puts the meals on the table, helps provide for our family. But passion is something that you would do for free. So when you think about all those different things that you want to do in life, if there's something that you say, you know what, I would do this even if you didn't pay me for, and then go for that and find out those volunteer opportunities that's out there because it's a lot.
That's really good advice. Thank you. In your opinion, why is it important for individuals to actively seek opportunities to spread positivity and uplift those around them?
You talked about it too. I remember you speaking about some of the same similar things about when you reach forward, you help someone come up. And I love that story that you said some time ago. Definitely the same way. I've been involved with helping seniors and elderly. And one thing I noticed when you're helping them, it's not always, you don't pull them, right? You're doing something together. So when you're lifting someone up, it's not a competition. It's helping someone to get to where you're at or even further. And it's important. If we all felt that way and we all gave back as much as we take, it will be that way as well. It's something I think we talked about before, servant leadership, right? The 10 keys to servant leadership. Not asking someone to do something that you wouldn't do yourself. And it's definitely believing in that and your calling as well.
I couldn't agree with that more. That was beautifully said. Thank you. Can you share any specific strategies or initiatives that you've implemented to promote positivity and make a lasting impact in your personal or professional circles?
There's been a lot. I know one thing, I work for Pulse Technology. I'm in major accounts. And one thing we do, especially on a sometimes weekly or monthly basis, is called Pulse Positives. And when we talk about Pulse Positives, is recognizing a colleague or a leader in the organization as doing something over and beyond the norm. So we recognize them, we send emails out, usually thank yous and things like that. One thing that I'm definitely a believer for is sending emails out or sending texts to people too. It's more personal. And recognizing that, hey, they either made an impact in your life or they did something special for you as well. I know you and a lot of my friends do a great job of writing the letters. I love those, so continue doing those too. But also, in the giving back is mentorship too. Mentorship is a good way to give back and also spread that positivity as well. Mentoring at the local colleges, mentoring at work. Mentoring, colleagues or friends and things like that that have kids or young adults that want to do something positive as well. So those are just a few that I can name.
Those are three great takeaways. I love the Pulse Positives. That is a great way to spread positivity within your organization and build that culture. I know when I've been over at Pulse and I've met some of your coworkers, you could feel the positive energy there. Everyone, they're just very welcoming. I know you host a lot of events at Pulse, and every time I'm there, every single person, welcomes us coming in, wants to introduce themselves, learn more about us. So you can tell, I'll bet you that is a big part of that culture and why everyone is so positive.
Yeah. So one thing they started some years ago is buy local, give local. It was a strategy that they have. And a lot of that begins, to your point, with culture, having the right culture, hiring the right people, making the right influence. We actually not all, a majority of us got together and we just did the Adopt a Highway program for the SBA recently. And a lot of them commented, it was their first time doing it. A lot of them commented of how, even though it was a half a mile stretch, cleaning up garbage is not something people, I want to run and clean up garbage. It's not something everyone would run to do, but just doing that and giving back to the community and giving back to something, definitely helps as a team as well.
A great reminder. And thank you for leading the charge with the SBA and that cleanup that we're all doing on that stretch of the road throughout this year. So I appreciate you taking that on from Jim and spearheading that for us this year.
Just going to say, I got to give kudos to Jim, who was doing it for the last time period. And he has been a mentor to me and helping me and guiding me and making sure that I was prepared for this. And of course, I put my own little spin to it. But thank you, Jim, for your guidance.
How do you, Brandon, maintain your own sense of positivity and motivation, especially during challenging times or when you're faced with negativity?
One thing is enormousy when it comes to negativity. I was reading a book, and especially being involved in the National Hispanic Suicide Prevention Network. Short feelings of negativity are okay. It's where they get prolonged that we call it depression or anxiety. So it's okay if you're having a bad day. It's okay if it's a short period of time. In order for me to get over that, though, it starts with being grounded. A lot of it, we talk about it, and you and I being spiritual people. It's that grounding effect. It's meditation. It's thinking about the positive things. It's thinking about and being gracious and showing gratitude for the blessings that we have and we receive on a daily part. Some of it also begins with, waking up with the right mental attitude and what you're feeding your brain with, the mental food and the spiritual food, the exercise and the healthy habits that come from that as well. So a lot of that is what keeps me grounded and keeps me motivated, especially, mentally and spiritually as well.
Those are really great points. Thank you for sharing with them. I think a lot of people don't realize how much goes into it, right? There's so many things, whether it's what we watch or what we hear or the people we surround ourselves with or the food we're putting in our body or the exercise we get or don't get can all contribute to that. And that all helps us maintain that positive attitude. And I really like how you said it's okay to have a moment of negativity. Like we can't be happy all the time,
right? But
it's the prolonged periods is when we really want to look at and be concerned with. Thank you for sharing that. And I know you have a lot of experience with that, especially with being on the board of NHSPN.
Yeah. So you mentioned something too about what you feed your brain. So I remember like the 90s was real heavy for, rap music and a lot of music that had, negative connotations and things to it. I remember there was a period of time when rap music came out. I started buying music from Walmart. And the reason I bought it from Walmart is they would eliminate some of the negative words that was in the music. And I found myself just in that short period of time I did it, that I was no longer cursing because what I was putting into my brain was not coming out, right? Exactly the same way. Now, there are still times, you say things that you shouldn't, right? But the music and what you feed your brain with, whether it's reading, whether it's, you talked about movies, things like that, it has an effect. And sometimes it stays in there. So just be careful, especially when you talk about positive and negative influences, friends, included, what you feed your brain, what comes out.
100%. I love that. What messages or words of encouragement would you like to share with our listeners who aspire to make a positive difference in the world?
A simple message, and I guess Nike is on my brain now. It's basketball season and things like that. Just do it. Find something you love or you're passionate about. We're all shaped by different experiences in our lives, and that's what makes us beautiful. That we all have different opinions, different things that we talk about, different things that we like, different hairstyles, different dresses. Appreciate the differences in people, our background, appreciate losses because those give you opportunities to win. I was just actually I had lunch with a gentleman just a few minutes ago who's a VP of a company, and he was just talking about what he learned from losing an employee and the change that he's now going to do moving forward to help him so he doesn't lose anymore. So appreciate those setbacks. So those are opportunities for you to win eventually. But again, just do it. If you have an opportunity out there to something that motivates you, try it. And if you like it, do it again, and experience that feeling that you get when you are giving back or have that positive difference in the world.
Perfectly said. And that was a really great example. Thank you. Is there any other parting words that you would like to leave with our listeners before we say goodbye?
One thing is, I would take it for you. You definitely have been a positive influence on me. And I'm definitely grateful for you and the friendship and your energy. I'm an energy person as well. That's why to a lot of people, I do hug people. It's not because I just want to smother people, but it's a way to give energy. So that's why I do that. But I appreciate you and everything that you do and the differences that you're making in real life. So I appreciate that.
Well, thank you, Brandon, so much for that. That was so sweet. You're going to make me cry. If you listeners want to get in touch with Brandon, the best way to do it is through his LinkedIn profile. So I will share that in the show notes. And Brandon, thank you so much for joining us today. You inspire me every day. Your hugs are definitely positive energy. And I just love being around you. You're a great human. And I wish there were a lot more humans on the earth like you, because this world would be a much better place.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me on this show as well. I appreciate it. And to your audience, hopefully you benefited from something I said today as well. Thank you so much.
I definitely know they will. And to you listening or watching us on YouTube, thank you for joining us. We're so grateful to have you. If you're interested in being a guest on our podcast, reach out to us. We hope you have an amazing, positive day. Bye-bye.